Hello students, we are doing the chapter structure of the atom and this is the second part of the chapter, and in this part we are going to discuss about electronic configuration of various elements. So let's proceed with electronic configuration in detail now. Bohr and Berry suggested us a scheme for electron distribution in the atom, and according to this scheme, the maximum number of electrons in a shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the orbit number or energy level index like 1, 2, 3, etc. So how can we calculate maximum number of electrons in a shell? By using this formula 2n square. We denote energy shells of an atom by using the symbols K, L, M and N. And for these energy shells, the value of N is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if in this formula is 2n square. If in this formula we put the value of n is equal to 1, we will get the maximum number of electrons which can be present in the shell K. For example, if we put n is equal to 1 in this formula, we will get the value 2. It means maximum 2 electrons can be present in K shell. Similarly, by putting the value of n is equal to 2 in this formula, we get the value 8. It means L shell can have a maximum of 8 electrons. Similarly, by putting the value of n is equal to 3 in this formula, we will get the value 18. It means M shell can have a maximum 18 electrons. Similarly, by putting the value of n is equal to 4 in this formula, we get the value of 32. It means N shell can have a maximum 32 electrons. So this is how we can calculate the maximum number of electrons in a shell. And outermost orbit can accommodate maximum 8 electrons. So not more than 8 electrons, and electrons are filled in the shell in a stepwise manner. This means the inner shells are filled first and then the outer ones. Like first of all, electrons will be filled in K shell, then electrons will be filled into the L shell, and then so on. So filling of the electrons is always done in a stepwise manner. We will discuss electron distribution of various atoms in detail, but before proceeding with the details of electronic distribution, let's discuss some terms first. What is atomic number? It is determined by the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom. It is denoted by a capital letter Z, and all atoms of an element have the same atomic number. Atomic number is equal to number of protons. What is mass number? It is the sum total of total number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom. As both protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus of the atom, that's why these are also known as nucleons. And mass of the atom is supposed to be concentrated in the nucleus only. Why? Because electrons' mass is considered to be negligible. So total mass of the atom is equal to the mass of the protons plus mass of the neutrons. But for mass number, we add the number of protons and number of neutrons which are present in the nucleus of the atom, and it is denoted by a capital letter A. In the notation for an atom, the atomic number, mass number and symbol of the element are written like this. For example, if a symbol of the atom is X, then atomic number will be written here on the lower side and mass number will be written here on the upper side. So this is how it is written in the notation. What are valence electrons? Electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom are known as valence electrons. And what is valency? It is the combining power or combining capacity of an element. It is given by number of electrons gained, lost or shared to complete the octet or to attain fully filled outermost shell. So every element has the tendency to attain fully filled outermost shell or to complete the octet. And the number of electrons which are shared or gained or lost to attain this condition, that is known as valency. Let's discuss it in detail by taking some examples. Let's take first example of the atom lithium. Its atomic number is 3. How these electrons are distributed in lithium? K shell has 2 electrons and L shell has 1 electron. So what is the number of valence electrons here? 1. Because the outermost shell contains only 1 electron. So valence electrons number is 1 here. What is the valency of lithium? 1. Why? Because the outermost shell has only 1 electron. This can be lost by the lithium while forming some compound or while combining with some other element. So the valency of lithium is 1. Let's take one more example. Now we take the example of oxygen atom. Atomic number of oxygen is 8. How electrons are distributed in oxygen? K shell has 2 electrons and L shell has 6 electrons. So what is the number of valence electrons in oxygen? Number of valence electrons is 6 because the outermost shell has 6 electrons. But what is the valency of oxygen? Valency of oxygen is not 6. To complete the octet or to attain fully filled outermost shell, how many electrons are required by the oxygen? As the octet is completed by having 8 electrons, and if we minus the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of oxygen, that is 6, we get 2. So 2 is its valency. So while combining with some other element, oxygen will tend to gain 2 electrons. So this is how the combining power or combining capacity of an element is associated with the valency. Let's discuss electronic configuration of some elements now. We start with the hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom is represented by the symbol capital H. What is its mass number? 1, because mass number is written on the upper side. What is its atomic number? 1. Number of protons is equal to atomic number. So if atomic number is 1, number of proton will be 1 and number of electron will also be 1. Now what is the number of neutrons here? Number of neutrons is equal to mass number minus number of protons. So you subtract the number of protons from mass number. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So number of neutrons will be 0. So it has only 1 electron. How this electron will be distributed? It will be filled in K shell. And what will be the valency of hydrogen? 1. And this electron will be shown here in the K shell of hydrogen. So this is the electronic configuration of hydrogen. Let's discuss about helium now. What is the symbol of helium? It is denoted by a capital H and small e. What is its mass number? Mass number is 4. Atomic number is 2. Atomic number is equal to number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So 2 electrons, 2 protons. Number of neutrons is equal to mass number minus number of protons. So 4 minus 2, 2 neutrons are there. How these 2 electrons are distributed? Both of the electrons are distributed in K shell only. And the valency of helium is 0 because maximum 2 electrons can be accommodated here in the K shell. So helium has fully filled K shell. So it is not interested in reacting with any other element. So its valency is 0. And these 2 electrons can be shown here in K shell of the atom. So this is the electronic configuration of helium. Element of lithium. It is represented by the symbol capital L and small I. Its mass number is 7. Its atomic number is 3. So atomic number is equal to number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So now calculate number of neutrons. Mass number minus number of protons. 7 minus 3. So number of neutrons are 4 in lithium. And how these electrons are distributed? 2 electrons are there in the K shell and 1 electron is there in the L shell. What is its valency? Valency is 1. And we will show 2 electrons here in the K shell and 1 electron here in the L shell. This is the electronic configuration of lithium. Let's discuss beryllium now. Beryllium is represented by a symbol capital B and small e. Its mass number is 9. Its atomic number is 4. And number of protons 4. Number of electrons 4. What is the number of neutrons here? Mass number minus number of protons. 9 minus 4. 5 neutrons are present. And how the electrons are distributed: 2 electrons in K shell, 2 in L shell, and the valency of beryllium is 2. So we will show 2 electrons here in the K shell and 2 electrons here in the L shell. So this is the electronic configuration of beryllium. Let's discuss boron now. Boron is represented by the symbol capital P. It has mass number 11 and it has atomic number 5. 5 atomic number means it has 5 protons and 5 electrons. What is the number of neutrons here? Mass number minus protons. 11 minus 5, 6 neutrons are present. And how these 5 electrons are distributed? 2 electrons are there in K shell and 3 electrons are there in L shell. So we will show 2 electrons here in the K shell and 3 electrons here in the L shell. So this is the electronic configuration of a boron. What is its valency? Valency is 3. Let's discuss carbon now. Carbon is represented by symbol capital C. Its mass number is 12. Its atomic number is 6. Number of protons 6. Number of electrons 6. What is the number of neutrons here? Mass number minus number of protons. So 12 minus 6, 6 neutrons are present. How these 6 electrons are distributed? 2 are there in the K shell and 4 electrons are there in L shell. And what is its valency? It has valency of 4. And we will show here 2 electrons in K shell and 4 electrons here in L shell. So in the L shell anywhere we can show 4 electrons. So this is the electronic distribution of carbon. Let's discuss nitrogen now. Symbol of nitrogen is capital N. Its mass number is 14. Its atomic number is 7. So number of protons 7, number of electrons 7. Number of neutrons is 14 minus 7, that is 7 neutrons are there. And how electrons are distributed? 2 electrons are in K shell and 5 electrons are in L shell. What is its valency? Now its valency is not 5. Its valency is 8 minus 5, that is 3. So its valency is 3 because it needs 3 more electrons to complete its octet. So 8 minus 5, 3 is its valency. We will show 2 electrons here in the K shell and 5 electrons here in the L shell. 3, 4 and 5. So this is the electronic distribution of nitrogen. For oxygen, symbol used is capital O. What is its mass number? 16. What is its atomic number? 8. Number of protons 8, number of electrons also 8. And what is the number of neutrons? 16 minus 8, that is 8 neutrons. And how these 8 electrons are distributed? 2 electrons in K shell and 6 electrons in L shell. And we will show here 2 electrons in K shell and 6 electrons in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. What is its valency? Its valency is not 6, rather its valency is 8 minus 6. It is 2. So to complete its octet, it needs only 2 electrons. So its valency is 2. Fluorine is represented by the symbol capital F. Its mass number is 19. Its atomic number is 9. Number of protons also 9. Number of electrons also 9. What is the number of neutrons here? Mass number minus number of protons. 19 minus 9, that is 10 neutrons are present here. How these 9 electrons are distributed? 2 in K shell and 7 in L shell. So we will show 2 electrons here in K shell and 7 electrons in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. What is its valency? To complete its octet, it needs only 1 electron. So 8 minus 7, 1 is its valency. Neon is represented by the symbol capital N small e. Its mass number is 20. Its atomic number is 10. So number of protons also 10. Number of electrons also 10. What is the number of neutrons? Mass number minus number of protons, 20 minus 10, that is 10 neutrons. How these 10 electrons are distributed here? 2 electrons in K shell and 8 electrons in L shell. So, according to Bohr and Bury, outermost shell can accommodate a maximum 8 electrons. So, its octet is completed. So, its valency is 0 now. That is the reason why neon is least reactive. It is not interested in combining with any other element. So, it doesn't show any chemical reactivity, and such elements which have their octet completed, these are also known as noble elements. And now we will show 2 electrons here in K shell and then 8 electrons in L shell. So mark 8 electrons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is the electronic configuration of neon. Sodium is represented by a symbol capital N small a. Its mass number is 23. Its atomic number is 11. So it has 11 protons, 11 electrons. What is the number of neutrons here? 23 minus 11. That is 12 neutrons are present in sodium. How these 11 electrons are distributed? 2 electrons in K shell, 8 electrons in L shell. So only 1 electron is left, that is filled in M shell. What is its valency? Valency is 1. So we will show 2 electrons here in K shell and 8 in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And only 1 electron in M shell. So this is the electronic configuration of sodium. Now let's discuss about magnesium. What is its symbol? Capital M, small g. What is its mass number? 24. What is its atomic number? 12. So number of protons 12, number of electrons 12. What is the number of neutrons? 24 minus 12, 12 neutrons. How these 12 electrons are distributed here? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 2 in M shell. What is its valency? It has valency 2. Now we will show 2 electrons here, 8 electrons in the L shell, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 2 electrons in M shell. So 2 electrons in its outermost shell. This is electronic configuration of magnesium. Let's discuss aluminium now. What is the symbol of aluminium? Capital A, small l. What is its mass number? 27. What is its atomic number? 13. So number of protons 13, number of electrons 13. What is the number of neutrons? Mass number minus number of protons. So 27 minus 13, it has 14 neutrons. How these 13 electrons are distributed in its shells? 2 electrons in K shell, 8 in L shell and 3 in M shell. What is its valency? Valency is 3. So we will show 2 electrons here in K shell and 8 in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now 3 electrons in M shell. So 1, 2 and 3. So 3 electrons in M shell. This is about aluminium. Now come to silicon. What is the symbol of silicon? Capital S, small I. What is its mass number? 28. What is its atomic number? 14. How many protons? 14 protons. 14 electrons. What is the number of neutrons? 28 minus 14. 14 neutrons are present. How these 14 electrons are distributed? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 4 in M shell. What is its valency? Silicon has valency of 4. So now we will show 2 electrons here in the K shell and 8 electrons in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons. Now 4 electrons in M shell. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the electronic configuration of silicon. Next element is phosphorus. Phosphorus is represented by the capital letter P. It has mass number 31 and what is its atomic number? 15. So 15 atomic number means 15 protons, 15 electrons. How many neutrons are there? Mass number minus number of protons. So 31 minus 15, it has 16 neutrons. How the 15 electrons are distributed here? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 5 in M shell. What is its valency? It has 5 electrons in its outermost shell. So its valency may be 5. But not only this, how many electrons are required to complete the octet? If we subtract the number of electrons in outermost shell from 8, that is 8 minus 5, we get 3. So its valency may be 3 also. And how these electrons will be shown here? We will show 2 electrons here in the K shell, 8 electrons in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 electrons in the L shell and 5 in M shell. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it has 5 electrons in its outermost shell. Next element is sulfur. It is represented by capital letter S and its mass number is 32. Its atomic number is 16. It means it has 16 protons, 16 electrons. What is the number of neutrons? 32 minus 16. It has 16 neutrons. And how these 16 electrons are distributed? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 6 in M shell. What is its valency now? 8 minus 6, that is 2. It has 2 valency. We will show 2 electrons here in K shell and 8 in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now 6 electrons in M shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. This is the electronic configuration of sulfur. Next element is chlorine. What is its symbol? Capital C, small l. What is its mass number? 35. What is its atomic number? 17. So number of protons? 17. Number of electrons? 17. How many neutrons are present? 35 minus 17. That is, it has 18 neutrons. How the 17 electrons are distributed here? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 7 in M shell. And now what is its valency? It has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So 8 minus 7 is equal to 1. So its valency is 1. So we will show 2 electrons here in K shell, 8 electrons in L shell. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And now we will show 7 electrons in M shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this is the electronic configuration of chlorine. Next element is argon. Argon is represented by capital A and small r. Its mass number is 40. Its atomic number is 18. So it has 18 protons and 18 electrons. What is the number of neutrons here? Mass number minus number of protons. 40 minus 18. That means it has 22 neutrons. How 18 electrons are distributed here? 2 in K shell, 8 in L shell and 8 in M shell. So what happens here? Its outermost shell has 8 electrons. So the octet is completed. So its valency is 0. That means it is also non-reactive element. It has no tendency to combine with any other element. And now we will show 2 electrons here in the K shell, 8 in L shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 8 in M shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is the electronic distribution of argon. Let's discuss some questions also which are commonly asked in the examinations. First question is, an element has 16 protons. How many electrons will be present in K, L and M shell of its atom? What will be its valency? So it's very easy question. So number of protons is given here 16. It means number of electrons is also 16. So how these electrons will be distributed in K, L and M shell? K shell can have a maximum of 2 electrons and L shell can have a maximum of 8 electrons and only 6 are left. These will be in the M shell. So its electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 6. Next part of the question is, what will be its valency? So it has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So how many electrons are required to complete its octet? 8 minus 6, that is 2. So 2 is its valency. So this is the answer of this question. Second question. The number of electrons in the outermost L shell of an atom is 5. Write its electronic configuration. What is its valency? So what is given here? It is given that L is the outermost shell and in L shell 5 electrons are present. According to Bohr and Berry scheme of electronic distribution, the electrons are filled in a stepwise manner. That means first K shell will be filled, only then L shell will be filled. It means if 5 electrons are present in the L shell, definitely K shell will be having 2 electrons in it. So the total number of electrons will be 7 and electronic configuration is 2, 5. What is its valency? Number of electrons in the outermost shell is 5. So how many electrons are required to complete its octet? 8 minus 5, 3. So its valency will be 3. So this is how this question can be solved. Next question is, an element X with mass number 24 and atomic number 12 loses 2 electrons to form a cation which combines with the anion of element Y having mass number 35 and atomic number 17, formed by gaining an electron. Write electronic configuration of element X. So what we need to do to solve the first part? Electronic configuration of X. So what is given here? X is having mass number 24 and atomic number is given 12. It means number of protons in X is 12, number of electrons in X is also 12. So how these 12 electrons will be distributed? 2 in K shell and L can have maximum of 8 electrons and 2 electrons will be in M shell. So its electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 2. And now come to the second part. Write the electronic configuration of the anion of element Y. So what is given here about element Y? It is given here that Y element has mass number 35 and atomic number is 17. So it has 17 electrons. So how these 17 electrons can be distributed in K, L and M shells? 2 in K, 8 in L shell and 7 in M shell can be present. But here we are asked to write the electronic configuration of anion of element Y. So anion means when an element gains one extra electron, it forms an anion. So one extra electron will be added here. So total number of electrons in anion of Y. It means Y minus 1. So total 18 electrons will be present in anion of Y. So how these 18 electrons can be distributed? 2 electrons in K shell, 8 in L shell and 8 in M shell. So its electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 8. Third part of the question is, write the formula of the compound formed by the combination of X and Y. See, what is the valency of X here? Its valency is 2. And valency of Y is 1. Why? Because it has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So to complete its octet, it needs only 1 electron. It means 2 atoms of Y can combine with the atom of X. So this can be the formula of the compound formed by the combination of X and Y. So this is how questions can be asked in the examinations. These are very easy questions. Once you understand the basic concept of this topic, then these are quite easy to answer. So that is all about the second part of the chapter structure of the atom. In the next video, we will discuss about isotopes and isobars. So see you all in the next video of the chapter. Thank you so much.